If God truly exists, why is there so much suffering and evil in the world? It's one of the most asked questions by atheists and agnostics. And it's a fair question. How can an all-powerful, all-loving God allow pain, injustice, and evil to exist? Shouldn't God just stop it? But maybe we need to take a step back. What if suffering isn't always pointless? What if pain, instead of disproving God, actually points toward a deeper wisdom? First, let's consider what kind of world people expect when they ask this question. A world without any suffering, evil, or difficulty. Essentially, a perfect paradise. But here's the issue. How would we ever know what good is if evil didn't exist? If there was no suffering, would we understand compassion? If there was no injustice, would we value justice? Think about it. If you never felt hunger, would you appreciate food? If you never experienced loneliness, would you cherish companionship? Sometimes we only recognize the value of something through its opposite. Now many people say, why doesn't God just create us in heaven to begin with? But what is heaven without choice, without struggle, without growth? If God simply gave everyone eternal paradise without any test, what meaning would it hold? Would it really be paradise, or just a gift with no value? Islam offers a deep insight here. According to it, this life is a test, not a punishment, not a meaningless accident, but a test. God gives us free will, the ability to choose between good and evil, so that we can grow, evolve, and become worthy of something greater. Without the freedom to do evil, there's no meaning in doing good. A robot that only does good because it's programmed can't be praised for kindness. But a human who chooses kindness in the face of cruelty, that's something meaningful. Suffering also builds us. It humbles the arrogant. It softens the hard-hearted. It teaches empathy in ways that comfort cannot. Have you noticed how people who've faced hardship are often the ones most willing to help others? That's not a coincidence. Difficulty shapes character. Now, of course, some suffering feels far too painful to understand, like children dying or innocent people being hurt. And those moments are truly heavy. But even in those moments, the response of people rushing to help, sacrificing for strangers, showing unity, reveals something beautiful. It shows that while suffering exists, so does love, mercy, and selflessness. And maybe that's the point, that through the dark, the light becomes visible. Islam doesn't say suffering is always easy, or that we'll always understand it. But it reminds us that God is just and merciful. Every injustice in this world will be addressed in the next. This life is not the final chapter. If someone is wronged here, their justice is guaranteed later. That belief gives meaning and hope, even in pain. And what about natural disasters? Earthquakes, illness? These are part of a balanced system. Fire can burn, but it also gives warmth and energy. Water can drown, but it also sustains life. The same forces that cause natural disasters are also the ones that keep the earth alive and functioning. The world isn't broken, it's working exactly as intended. So when we ask why God allows suffering, maybe the better question is, what does suffering awaken in us? For some, it leads to despair, but for others, it opens the door to deeper questions, spiritual reflection, and a stronger connection with God. Suffering isn't proof against God. It might be the very thing that draws us to Him.